is on the internet, YouTube. It is myself, a Comcast employee, coming live from my stream. The Hindu patch notes were yesterday, I think. Yeah. And we're reviewing them right now. Just a general analysis. I give my whether they're good, bad, ugly. Last patch I did like this whole like rating system. I don't think I ever uploaded that. I did not upload that. Well, if you were live on Twitch, you saw that, and I'm just not gonna do that this time. I'm just gonna get my analysis on each card. Now, as I say, when we get brand new pantheons, you can't really dictate its value until you get in it. Like initially, I thought mine was pretty garbage because each god's stat line was pathetic at AMC, and it just wasn't. It wasn't spicy, right? I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything potent in it. I was like, okay, blah blah blah. It looks fine. I'm playing the same logic here. I'm gonna obviously I'm gonna make a prediction on how it's gonna be. I can't tell you how it's gonna be, but we'll go from there. So yes, this is the Hindu Pantheon patch notes rebirth. I guess we're birthing Hindus. Okay. Okay. New neutral cards. This is gonna be fun. Okay. Starting off with something incredibly broken in OP. This is gonna be painful. Lemian. Oh, Lernian. Luranian. Hydra. Legendary. Okay. Okay, paid to win right there. 6 mana, 5/5 melee. Okay. Can only take 1 damage from a single source. Whenever this unit attacks, gain 3. Oh. There's a lot of issues with this card. I would be content with like protect even 3 or protect 2 or just something. This is innately possibly the strongest mechanic in the entire game because there's only one way to kill the son of a bitch, and that's through silence. So, ironically, this is going to be really, really strong in almost calling it like aggressive decks and aggressive pantheons. And actually, it's going to get hard. It's going to get countered by aggressive like Norse token. It's gonna you're gonna have the ability to get it, you know, because you actually have 5 units. So realistically, you are killing this unit one of 2 ways, and there's only one of 2 ways. Like the third way is just ludicrous for most other pantheons, right? So you're gonna either execute it, hard elimination it, blood bond, decay, execute. You got the picture. And the other way is just through silence and then killing it. The issue I have with this card is this little number right here. Why the hell they gave it a 6 mana drop, I don't know. Like a 6 mana 5/5 melee isn't even that bad to begin with. Like it's like assuming its effect, like if it didn't even have this, I would probably still value this card fairly well. But instead they said, let's make this broken. My biggest concern with this deck is just how, like, I was actually, if you guys are watching my stream, if you're watching my stream right now, I just talked about how Greek is the weakest pantheon, and it occurred to me, Greek has no way in hell, pun intended, to kill this thing. They cannot kill this thing. So Greek will be literally unplayable if you do that. You can't kill it. You have like 3 or 4 gods at a time. And remember, whenever this unit attacks, so I'm not sure if it's blah, 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 like I don't know, man. Just no, it's not a god. It's not a god. So in other words, this is literally all you have to do is put down this card. No, you can't steal it because it's not a god. Phantom Grasp only allows you to. No, they can't. Phantom Grasp can only steal gods, right? Oh, that's it. A sensory word snipe. But you guys get the picture. This card is completely and utterly hard counters the Greek pantheon, and it's impossible to kill. Like Greek cannot do anything against it. Um, Chinese, good luck, Chinese, good luck. 5 spells, good luck. And Egyptian is lucky, Mayan is lucky, and then obviously Hindu's gonna be lucky. And Norse is actually very, very lucky because they have Crippling Curse, and that still qualifies, I think. No, but like Chinese and Greek can't kill this card. They have to invest 5 cards within the 6 mana curve, which, as we know, is nearly impossible. Like, if you are a Chinese player and you're going to play around your opponent playing the 6-drop, you either need to have a Habwa in your hand or 5 spells. Good luck. This card's utterly broken. Utterly broken. It will be unkillable against a lot of pantheons unless they have direct elimination, which is you can't count on that. You can't count on that. And then it's no. This is high res. What the hell are you thinking? No, no, no. Don't. This is not okay. It's a cool concept, yes, but it's just like if you have a single card in your deck, the other person can't win. Where feels bad, Other feels bad. So as I was saying, broken AF, high res. What the hell are you thinking? Poisonous Hydra. So we get 2 Hydras. Legendary. Oh, okay. So I know it's legendary. Legendary. 4 mana, 4/4 melee. So the first thing is the stat line on this card is meh. Like it's fine. A 4/4/4/4 is like it's all right. But this is what you're doing it for. Now, in concept, I love this card. I think this card is ingenious. I think we haven't seen a whole lot of it. We literally the only time we've ever seen this in any other card game that I know of to my knowledge is like Hearthstone when you're in the middle of a boss battle and they have certain cards like that. But poisonous, 2 mana, your summoning stone takes 4 damage. This card's not at the end of the turn. What the number one issue with this type of spell is that it just utterly annihilates your curve. It's worse than Habwa because you get heavily punished. See, I always talk about Habwa being incredibly strong, the strongest shoot up in the entire game because he resets a curve, right? Like you play a sick, nasty, whatever, and then bop, it's out of your way, you know? So that's bad. That's really, really bad. But with this card, I mean, you're giving up a turn. Whereas with Habwa, you can play it the next turn, and he's only a 2/1. And not to mention, chat, it's not a war cry, right? It's not a war cry. Whereas I think we'll see other like legendary war cry. Yeah, it's not a war cry. So it hits through on her. On her will not do anything to this card, right? It's a straight up effect. So in other words, your opponent says, okay, so for my 4 or 5 mana curve, I have to spend 2 mana because 4 damage is nutty. It's pretty much 1/5 of your health, right? But at the end of the day, here's how I think of it. Here's what I think of it. This card is very, very strong, broken even, but it's not game breaking. This is game breaking because pantheons cannot play against this card. If you are Greek, you cannot win against this card. There's nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing. Unless every Greek player starts running Ascension or they all convert their decks to aggro Greek, which is not a thing. So unless you're playing aggro Greek, good luck. Because you need 5 different sources of damage to kill this bitch. And you can't do that. Greek doesn't have that. Greek specializes in having 2 to 3 strong units at a time on the board. Like, you can't win. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's so... I'm not saying like you can't win, but the likelihood of you winning in this with this guy on the board, on the enemy side of the board, is literally... No, Mayhem still counts as a single source. Remember, it says from a single source. Mayhem is a single spell, therefore it only hit it once. At least that's how I read it. But like I was saying, this very, very, very strong, broken. This game breaking. And remember, if a game-breaking card in the pantheon or in the patch, it makes the patch already not. I'm not content with it. Wrap Raptious. I don't know. Satyr. Fun. Common 4 mana 3/3 ranged. All enemy units take 2 damage. I like this card a lot. We're at a heavy we're at a heavy lack of range units in the lower mana curves that are actually viable, and effectively Venator kind of took up the slot, and now they're replacing it, and I think this is really good. I like this card a lot. It creates an interesting sense of zoning. It creates an interesting sense of like how you need to play against it. It's gonna be very, very strong against aggro decks. I cannot wait. I think it's a great card. I love it. Overall, like I don't like it's not broken because 4 mana 3/3 is all right. It's just this ability is really good because your opponent has the ability to play around it, and that's what I always talk about. The best cards in every game are the cards that you can play around, saying, okay, this guy's just on the field, he'll zone me out, but I can still play a unit and not die. That's what I'm saying. So yes, Rapier Satyr is a fantastic card. I love it. Satyr Pathfinder, epic mana, 6 mana, 7/4 melee. Your opponent I want to point out, this is an epic, it's not legendary, so that means you can play 2 of these. This is the ultimate, like... let me talk about why I have an issue with this card. If it was a 3 mana, like 5/3 or like a 5/2 or just something, be better. The issue with this card is, I mean, I thought it was 7 mana, 6 mana. Oh, that's broken AF, man. That's so stupid. But back to what I was saying though, 6 mana doesn't remedy the situation a bit. What happens is when you get to the later game, right, you lose your elimination because you've already used it. That's why, for example, I always validate and I always advocate the you as a player not playing Fire Giant on curve because your opponent's still going to have elimination at that point. So what you want to try to do is play him off curve, play him at like turn 10, 12 or whatever, when your opponent's used so much of their elimination killing your other crap, and then you play Fire Giant and they can't kill it because they don't have anything to kill it with. At 6 mana, this is the best elimination bait in the entire game. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the best elimination bait in the entire game. But to make matters worse, where this card is a bigger issue, is that if you play it in the late game, if you play it on turn 10, your opponent loses because they don't have anything to kill it with. Like, even a Guan Yu can't touch this card. Like, it's just... I don't like it, to be honest. I think it's a unique design, poorly executed, because I mean the first place, just it doesn't make any sense. Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. So overall, neutral section, terrible, like horrific, bad. Really good. Bad. So that's like really bad. So far, chat, we're not off to a good start. We are not off to a good start. All this terrible broken AF crap is just going to be not fun to play against. So you already saw the video. I'm just going to quickly go over to changes first. General. Spells can't be casted in instances of Mana Potion Alpha Confirmed state. Yes, this is really good change. I've done this fat fingered so many times. Like Blight was one of those cards that I would do a lot. I'm glad they changed it. Arena, whatever. This is actually a bad idea because it's gonna inflate ranked to be a lot of terrible crap. Overall, I mean, whatever. Teach their own. Balance. Oh. I remember the patch when Hi-Rez said, you know what? We're gonna drop Enyo's attack to 4. And I said Enyo is dead. We have not seen an Enyo. Like even in Greek decks don't even run Enyo anymore. That being said, I'm so happy they moved her back up. This is what they needed to do. I appreciate that. Invigorate. Mana reduced from 3 to 2. I don't personally run Beastwa, but I've heard she can be good. Now, so I mean, I'm excited to see this card. I think this is a frustrating card, but I think it's situational and you can play around it. Like I'm saying, you can play around this card. You can say, hey, he might put a lot of beasts. He's gonna invigorate. I'll do this. Bug fixes. Fix an issue where units had charge or card applied card twice. Okay, and then that's nice. That's nice. Okay. Let's get over to this. I'm gonna grab a drink of water real quick because I'm about to do a whole lot of talking. First, let's talk about the thing I dislike the most about this Pantheon. That's not my email, man. Okay. Reincarnate keyword. When this unit or spell goes to your graveyard, you return it to your hand. Remember when Barter Souls released, and I was like, you know what? This could be good. You're just gonna need to control what you put in your graveyard. Tyra's like, you know what? We don't want that. You'd be better. You'd be better than having your opponent have to skillfully take out of your graveyard. Let's just add it right back to their hand. This is the stupidest thing I've seen in this entire game thus far. So, I'm not hyper excited about this Pantheon because you have crap like this. Because now, if you're going to try to build a deck that's supposed to handle the meta relatively well, you're going to have two double silences, quadruple silences, because this is the most broken thing I've seen in my entire life. Because it says, hey, let's make a value deck and a control deck in the exact same thing. No. Don't like this change. Don't like reincarnate. We'll go on to because you'll see how it's just stupid. Because your opponent has to kill a unit. Ganesh, Hindu leader, Pillar of Life, 2 mana, deploy Pillar of Life that heals friendly random for 1 star your turn. I like this a lot. I think it's an interesting ability. It's certainly I think its application's even cooler because you can put it, you can body block with it. There's a lot of crap you can do with it, and it's from the looks of this alone here. This looks like it's going to be a heavily positioned based Pantheon, especially when it comes down to the idea of high skill level. Okay. Agni, Hindu, Warcry, common 6 mana for 4 ranged. So one thing we're seeing that I do think is a bit better. This is the only way to handle any type of reincarnate BS is that high cost, low value. So in other words, Hindu's ultimate enemy is aggro. So what we're going to see in the tournament setting, right, is a heavy emphasis on aggro to play around Hindu. So for example, and I believe in like I'm not sure what it's exactly called nowadays. It's not called like Conquest. It's called like whatever, where you're like allowed to ban out one of the decks. This is always going to get banned. Hindu Pantheon I think is always going to get banned. Just because playing around it is just incredibly difficult, I think. Because you're not going to be able to silence, and this crap is just stupid. And because they get infinite value, like they don't get infinite, but they get so much value out of a single card in their deck. Because you get it back, you know? One thing I don't understand, what makes Hi-Rez think that this is a real good way to start off a new game first? I mean, they need more content, and this is a good idea, so yeah. I mean, they added Chinese and they added Mayan, and they added, now Hindu. It's perfectly fine. So Agni, Warcry, randomly deal 2 damage to enemies twice. So it is pretty much just 2 damage. If there's one thing that we can rely on Hi-Rez for doing is making really bad. Like I don't know who their sentence guy is, but they gotta get a new guy. Like Between Heavenly Agility and now this crap, this is so confusing. But it does 2 random bits of damage. Reincarnate 7 cost. Your war cry now hits 3 times. This is fine. This is fine. Agni is a fine card. What I don't like is as a reincarnate mechanic. Like, he's personally fine. There's nothing wrong with Agni. I think he's a fantastic card. I think he's interesting because he provides some amount of clear, but not a ton of clear. He's good. It does 2 instances of 2 damage? I believe, yes. It does 2 instances of 2 damage. And then there's Reincarnate for 7. So for 7 mana, you're spending like 4/4 with 3. But the issue is like people aren't gonna play Agni, and you'll see why. Because there's no reason to play Agni when you have other better cards. Call of Avatar Hindu, epic 6 mana. Copy every friendly god in play and spawn avatar of them. These avatars have charge. Nice HTML there. And die at the end of the turn. So, because I saw this in the patch notes. It gives you their base stats. Now, this card sounds really broken, but I promise you it's not. Why is it not really broken? Well, first of all, it says every friendly god in play, which makes it a ton better. But especially for the fact that it's their base stats. And we know the Hindu pantheon is really good at having really, really bad stat lines. Like Agni 6 mana 4/4 ranged. So it's not broken. If anything, it's probably underpowered because it's God. So you get a bunch of crappy stat lines. No, I do not believe so. So in other words, so far terrible. Oh, I dislike it at least a lot. Great, but he's not gonna be played because he's not good enough compared to the. And then he's actually kind of a bad card to be honest. Like it's very situational. Bakasura, Hindu, 3 mana, 3/3 melee, reincarnate, attacks now ignore immunities and protect. When reincarnate is used like this, it actually makes sense. It's a good idea. I love it. Bakasura is probably one of my favorite gods in the Hindu pantheon thus far. Like, I mean, I've already looked through this. I like Robin and Bakasura so far the most. So what does it give you? Ignore immunities and protect. This is a unique niche card. It is designed to say, you know what? I don't care. It's awesome, and if you've played Smite, you know it's very, very similar to his Butchering Blades, right? That deal true damage. I love it. I absolutely love it. Bakasura is awesome because, first of all, 3 mana, 3/3 melee this is a perfect on-curve statted unit. So you may say, well, Comcast, you just said they have bad stat lines. Yes, they generally do, but it makes up for the meh stat line because the reincarnate's not broken AF. It's a very, very, very reasonable reincarnate because it means he's niche. He has a certain bias to him. He has a certain value to him. It's not like for example, is nowhere near the level of some other bull crap. Like for example, I think Rama's pretty bad, but I forget the exact patch notes. But it's not gonna be like, oh, you know, he's a 3/3 melee that when he reincarnates he gets protect and +2/2. Like it's not crap like that. It's reasonable. So yes, I like Baka a lot because he's a niche unit. He's gonna. I mean, to be honest, he probably won't even be played. He may not even be played just because, like, we don't see a whole lot of protect and immunities, but it's possible. It's possible. Dispatch, Hindu, common 3 mana, return a unit to its owner hand, reincarnate costs 4. We're going to see a bit of the recall mechanic here. This is going to be Hindu's only way of saying, yo, slow this down a bit. So, if you don't know, it's effectively 7 mana, recall twice, which is very strong, technically speaking, because you can have two of these in your deck. So in other words, you can recall 4 times in the game, which is very, very strong. And now to mention, it says a unit. It never says. So yeah, so it's exactly like recall. So what I think they need to do is, this time it's a negative reincarnate. It's so it costs 4 mana to play this card. Back to what I was saying. Overall, I think this is so one of these cards where it seems very, very good on paper, right? In the late game, it has application, a ton of application, especially when you have this reincarnate and war cry effects. So I think, but this is one of those cards I'm just gonna have to wait and see about. Like I wanna talk about this, but it's just gonna come down to how people make this work, you know. So I think we're gonna have to wait. Echo Blast, Hindu, free, 3 mana, deal 3 damage. Reincarnate now deals 1 damage. Okay. Echo Blast, I like it a lot because what it does is it says you can play this card and you'll get it back, but it's gonna suck. 3 mana for 1 damage overall, and it says deal 3 damage. That's the entire board. To be honest, this to be honest, it's actually kind of not. It's actually like a really, really bad, uh, you know, Magma Slam, to be honest. But 3 damage, 3 mana for three. Wait, no, is Magma Slam? No, I take it back. Magma Slam's a 3 drop. I forgot. It's 3 mana, 3 damage, which is fine, fine. I guess not. And then it's 3 mana, deal 1 damage, which is pretty garbage. But it's a reincarnate. So overall, I think Echo Blast is gonna be needed in this pantheon, but it's not exactly um like efficient. I would say doesn't seem very efficient. This pantheon is gonna make you like fatigue. It's gonna make you like almost discard cards yourself. 'Cause you're just gonna get them back. Okay, Flourish. So I think this card is all right. Flourish, Hindu. Common mana, common 3 mana. Give a unit +1/1. Reincarnate gives 2/2. Mm, this is like this is pushing the boundaries of what I think is reasonable for reincarnate. Because if you have a little Hydra friend, and you remember, right, he's 6 mana. You give him 6/6, and then next turn you make him a 8/8, which you're running the game off that, right? So I think it pushes the boundaries because it's not about buffing your gods. If this said buff your gods, it would be perfectly balanced, but it's not. It's not your gods. It's any unit. So, and like I just said, Hindu has pretty bad gods. So you're not keep buffing your gods, except for Raven. You're gonna be buffing or I guess Baka. Baka. You're gonna be buffing your neutrals, and that is where this card is just super scary. Like I don't want to freaking see like a what a 5/8 War Behemoth. Oh no, my bad, my bad, my bad. A 6/9 War Behemoth. I don't want to see that. Like this is not no. I don't like this card. I don't like this card. Chat. All I ever want, reasonably, is just a balanced pantheon. I get excited when I see balance because balance is enjoyable. It's fun to play against and with. This is not like it's just the reincarnate mechanic. I feel like they need to change some way to not make it stupid. Illusion, rare, 5 mana. Create a friendly clone of any unit in play. Okay. So it's nearly no. It's a better Phantom Grasp. It's a better Phantom Grasp. Why? because the like just like okay, so let's compare. What does Phantom Grasp do? It steals an enemy god. One, and it costs, I believe, 7 mana. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that. It's 7 or 8 mana. I know they reduced it. It's either 8 mana or 7 mana, but it doesn't even matter because it's a high amount of mana, right? And you steal an enemy god, and it has all the effects. This card copies a card, right? Copies a unit. Oh wait. Oh wait, they changed it. Oh no, never mind. No. Take it back. No, I misread it. I misread my misread. No, yeah, no. It's a better Phantom Grasp because okay. So let's apply the situation. So with Phantom Grasp, you cannot steal or do ever to your own unit, right? And you can't like it has and also it's only gods. This card is any unit. Granted, it does not steal enemy unit, but it's any unit for 5 mana, and it's a clone. So yes, I dislike this card very much. It is effectively the biggest power creep we've seen yet thus far, and that's including Elder Harpy. Because you have to ask yourself, okay, so this card is just a better version than an older card. Okay. Like, stealing is good. Stealing an enemy unit is nice. But it doesn't matter. Because when like a pantheon can just duplicate units regardless of their cost, and it's applicable in nearly any situation. Like in nearly any situation, this card you'll find a reason and a way to play it. So yes, I dislike this card very, very much. You ever start to feel like some games start off really balanced launches and it'll be that way, but Hi-Rez is actually pretty good at rebalancing. It's just they're gonna have to rebalance this Pantheon. Yes, but it doesn't matter if it destroys because when you look at applicable situations for this card, it's for illusion, it's 10 times more applicable than Phantom Grasp, and it's a common, a rare. So you can have two of them in your deck. So you have two Phantom Grasps effectively. Only, oh, it's a steal enemy card. Big whoop. You can target any unit. It's friendly. No, it's any unit, and it has not to be a god. You see where I'm coming from? Phantom Grasp is niche in that, oh, you can steal a god. A god. From your enemy, and you can do it once per game. This says, copy any unit, yours or your opponent's. God doesn't matter for 5 mana, and wait, there's more. You got two of them in your deck. You see where I'm coming from? This is literally just it's a power creep. If you guys are familiar with power creeping is when a new mechanic, a new card comes in and completely overrides an older version of it. For example, Departed Warrior. Departed Warrior being a 3-mana, a 3-mana 3/2, that draws a card as an afterlife effect. Whereas Elder Harpy, they just added it, is a 3/2 that has Warcry, which you draw a card. So Elder Harpy, you can't get silenced, and you'll still have your card draw. So this is the biggest power creep I'm calling it that we've seen so far. Biggest power creep. May it seem that powerful? No, but it's just it's the situations you can do it in. Now, this card's absolutely nutty because there's nearly any situation that you can play this card in. Whether you're copying your own or copying your opponent's. And it's just a better Phantom Grasp. So yes, I very much dislike this card. I think it's a terribly made. Kali, Hindu, Legendary, 6 mana, 3/3 melee. Warcry, kill enemy with 4 more health. Reincarnate, 3/3. I like Kali because she's a legendary, so you can only have one of them in your deck, right? 3/3 melee is extremely bad. 4 more health. There's certain cards that can play around that pretty actually well, right? Like, I mean, I think they should make it to 5 or more health, to be honest, but that's just me, I guess. 4 more health, like your tanky 3-drops. Not to mention she's also pretty pricey execute. Now the Reincarnate is obviously very, very good because she becomes a 6 mana 6/6 that kills, and then so yes, but Kali's a legendary, and the way I think of legendaries is they're supposed to be like game changing, right? When I think of Blight, I think of it as a game-changing card. You could be winning them, you're not winning anymore. That is what Kali, I think, does. So I think she's actually pretty fine where she is. Hindu's dropping next week, I think. Illusion to create reincarnation. Shut up. Kumbhakarna. Hindu. Now, I hate this god in Smite. Let's see if it's any better here. Rare, 4 mana, 06 melee. Guard, 0 movement, reincarnate, gain 6/3 movement. This is. He may be more broken than Illusion. Actually, correction. He may be even more broken than Poisonous Hydra. Not as good as Lernian, but he may be more broken than Poisonous Hydra. Let me explain why. Because you put him in the back, and your opponent has to find 6 damage on him. Now, granted, he's a 4 mana, so that there's that. But when he reincarnates, he's still 4 mana, but he's a 4 mana 6/6. Well, wait. I take back what I said about being broken. It just occurred to me. So you play him on turn 4, right? He dies around turn, let's call it 6 or 7. Then you put him back for 4 mana 6/6. He's not. Okay, he's not as good as Poisonous, but he's still insanely. No, wait. You can have 2 mana in your deck, son of a bitch. Yes, he's very good, probably broken. Because so many decks, so many aggressive decks rely on the ability to get damage off early. And Kumbhakarna shuts it down. And if anything, 0 movement's perfectly fine. The only Pantheon that's actually going to be really nice here is going to be Roman. Roman will do a fantastic job against Hindu because they can just move Kumbha and say, oh yeah, now you just wasted your turn. So yes, Roman will do good against Hindu. But every other Pantheon's going to have to suck a massive cock here because this is going to friggin' suck. This is going to suck dealing with a 4 mana or 5, effectively, I guess, on turn 5, 6/6 with guard. I don't like it. I really don't like it. But the only reason why I am actually relatively okay with this card is because he is a hit or a miss. If you silence this son of a bitch, then he's worthless. He's gone. He's donezo, man. He's donezo. And he's just taking up a summoning stone spot. So that's why I think he's semi-reasonable. So we're gonna leave it at that. Yes, and that's why we're talking about the matchups. Matchups are really important. So I mean, overall, he's still extremely strong, broken in a lot of matchups, but he's also pretty weak in a lot of matchups. So that's where I'll say, I normally would say like I hate this card. I think he may be broken, which I'm not backing off that. He's a 4 mana 6/6. That's stupid, and you can have 2 of them in your deck. But what I do like about it is the fact that it has the ability to be completely worthless. I mean, if you guys watch my stream, you know my favorite class, for example, in Hearthstone is Warlock because it has that counter effect. That's what I love about it. So Kumbhakarna, right now I'm putting him on very thin ice. His fat, sleeping body is on thin ice. Moksha, Hindu, rare, 3 mana, silencer friendly with reincarnate, and they deal 5 damage to enemy unit. I like this. I like it a lot. It's actually probably my favorite card in the Pantheon. It's one of my favorite cards because what it does is while it's very control oriented, it hurts you potentially more than it's gonna hurt your enemy. Because a silence also loses all bonus effects, so you're gonna want to probably put on a charge unit, and it's also with reincarnate. So yes, overall, I mean, I can say right now, I like this card a lot. I think this card's fun and interesting to watch and use. Pact of Artha, Hindu, change ownership to 2 same cost. I love this card. It's interesting. It's unique. But the primary thing I'm looking for is the thing I'm primarily looking for right here is some Pog Champ OTK strats. I think I may be able to pull it off. When does it patch it? I believe either next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Pillar of Austerity, Hindu. What am I to do? 3 mana, 3 structure. Next card your opponent displays countered and get killed. Can be deployed anywhere. Uh, it's fine. It could be played around. You can play like a 1-drop, and you're perfectly fine. I mean, it's kind of broken that it's a unit as well. So this is the the high value late game strats. But overall, this card can still be played around, so I like it. Pillar of Creation. Uh, Whenever you play a structure, respond to the avatar of charge, can be deployed anywhere. If I believe the avatar stays alive, and this is going to be really nutty. I'm not sure if I like it a whole lot, to be honest. If you Pact of Artha Kumba does reincarnate go back to your hand, or when it dies. What? Pact of Artha? That's a good question. I don't actually know. We'll have to probably play test that. For YouTube, he asked if you Pact of Artha Kumba would does reincarnate when it dies to go back to the original owner's hand or the new owner's hand. I think it's the new owner's, but I'm not exactly sure. Pillar of Earth Hindu, common, 2 mana, structure, 03. All enemies of the room reduced by 1. This is kind of stupid. I actually really hate this. I really hate this. Because it's pretty much like a very... Nah, I don't like it. I'll just leave it at that. Pillar of Exile Hindu, 3, 2 mana, structure, 03, can be deployed anywhere. Warcry, banish unit until his pillar is killed. Destroyed. There is some really cheese strats actually what people were talking about if you Pact of Artha and Pillar of Exile, they'll pretty much will never get a unit back. So I'm a bit worried about Path of Exile, but I think it's still pretty interesting. And again, we'll leave it at that because I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about these pillars because the pillars I think are actually be a huge hit or miss, because if your opponent just rushes you down, you can't do anything about it. Pillar of Earth is, Pillar of Creation is probably gonna be the most important one. I'd say. Pillar of Fortitude, friendly gain 02. I don't like that. I think it's a bit too strong. I think it should be like 01, but that's just me, I guess. So again, that's all I have to say. Pillar of Parity, Hindu. I think it's just probably too strong. Pillar of Parity, only enemies have 1 less attack. This is kind of nutty, but this is probably more reasonable than Fortitude and Creation. So I think this card's relatively fine because 01 is extremely easy to kill, generally speaking. Pillar of Patience, epic 4 mana 07. This is kind of broken. No, this is insanely broken because it's 4 mana 07. They probably need to change this. They probably have to change it. That's the way I see it. Pillar of Retribution, Hindu. There's a lot of pillars. Epic rare 3 mana 03. Just copied. I like this. I like it a lot because your opponent can play around it. You guys know me. I like spells that you can adjust with. I like this a lot. I like Pillar of Retribution a ton. Precedence. 1 mana. Discover top 3. I love this. Precedence is really good because it combines, like, you could get 3 awesome cards and then you're boned because the other 2 get shoved to your bottom of the deck. So overall, I like it a lot. Spuds, I think you're onto something, but see, people are calling it control, and I don't know. I don't see it, man. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm stupid. I see it more as being almost a combo deck. It's to me, this is a very combo-centric Pantheon. It's like control doesn't. I don't see a ton of spells that kill everything. I don't think it's control, to be honest. Like, control references your ability to limit your opponent's board. You're not doing that with this Pantheon a whole lot. Like, sure, you're annoying the hell out of your opponent, but at any given time, you're not killing a bunch of their crap. You're just saying, oh... that's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe whatever. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is this going to come down to, like, when it actually gets... Hint Rama, 2 mana, 2/1 range. Your opponent can use the leader ability. This is absolutely insane. I think this is probably broken, and they probably need to change it as well. Robin, I love this card. Legendary, 4/4 melee, immune to return damage, protect 1, reincarnate game. I love this because it is arena centric, obviously, and he's just a lot of fun. He's cool. He's a tank, but he's not that hard to kill. You can silence him. Like, he's a lot of He's just really interesting. I think this is a fantastic card. Good job, Hi-Rez. I think this is what I want to see out of a legendary. It's impactful. I don't want to see Medusa who's just sitting there and saying, "Oh yeah, you can't really play this card." It's like my only beef is compared to Medusa, Robin literally dicks on her. Like it's like gangbang, like deep throat dick, man. It's bad. You don't want it. Robin is so much better than Medusa, for example, and he's like the same cost. So tribal tribute a stone Hindu. Free of mana, give you friendly, protect 1, reincarnate nuggets, protect 2. This is probably too strong again. I think they need to take away the spells with reincarnate, to be brutally honest. I think giving units reincarnate is one thing. Spells reincarnate I think should be another. At least that's my opinion. Overall I think it's probably too strong. Because it doesn't change the mana cost. So you just can give all your units protect for fun. For fun, you know. I don't think it will Squelcher. He asked if it will give a friendly protect 3 if you cast it doubly on. But it's just my quarrel is that you're gonna get these units that are extremely hard to kill. Like if you do this on Kumbhakarna, your opponent can't kill that, man. He just can't. He needs to silence. So the only way you're gonna be able to play effectively against Hindu is just rationing your silences. But Mana, Epic, 1/1 melee, reincarnate, get 50. This again is a great example of what reincarnate should do, not this crap. Void Zone, Hindu, rare, 1 mana, target enemy summoning stone. At the start of your turn, silence all enemies who their turn. Wait, what? Target the enemy summoning stone until the start of your next turn. Silence all enemies who end their turn adjacent to it. From what I understand, this is a 1-turn Javi, and I think it's overall it's kind of broken, but it's a reasonable. It's like a reasonable evil. It's like a lawful evil. So I'll say it's fine, at least for a little bit. It's like Norse says, aha, we don't care about that. I mean, obviously, it's gonna completely shut down a lot of the structure decks we currently are seeing. So overall, quick recap: terrible, mostly terrible. I don't really know what to say about this at this point. You guys saw it. Like I don't know how to think about it. Um, I'm kind of I'm contested on this topic. General, good. Balance, really good. Bug, okay. So that was my overall analysis. To be honest, I'm a bit scared. As a person who plays this game so much, I stream this game. You know, this is my stream is based off. This is my base game. I get kind of nervous because it seems like I'm not sure if this is a good direction to be going in when you have a really insane mechanic like reincarnate. Like I don't think it should be available on spells. I think it shouldn't be. Because spells are easily you can't play around. I can't play around my opponent playing two of the same spell in rapid succession, you know? At least that's how I see it. So thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're also watching on YouTube, make sure to stop by my Twitch sometime. It's twitch.tv/a Comcast employee. Have a good evening or wherever you guys are, and I need a better ending phrase. Yeah.